Greetings, everyone. I thank you all for joining me this evening. Um, let a couple of people know that I am live so we can get right started. If you paid attention to the notification to the title of this live, I did mention that we are preparing for our next free webinar. And of course, our webinar is what we do for about an hour. And we really get into, oh, I need to, hold on, y'all. Ray does not see me on TikTok. Yes, I am. Okay. I am live, dear. Yes, I'm live. Okay. He apparently cannot see. There he is. He just jumped in, I think. Um, okay, y'all, I may have to get out and go back in. Oh, okay. I see him. All righty. I apologize for all of that commotion, y'all. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about our live webinars. So, we will have webinars to actually get into what the digital growth community is and what digital marketing within the digital growth community is. Tomorrow at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we will be live. So, I would love to invite all of you, anybody who comes across this live, anybody who jumps into this live, I would love to invite you to our webinar for tomorrow. So if you are interested in going to the webinar tomorrow, drop webinar in my comments and I will send you additional information. If you drop webinar, I will see them, your comments after this live. I will respond to you and give you the webinar information. And I just want to tell you a little bit about what that actually entails. We normally do deep dives about this program, our 4 e-learning programs, all of the both the English and the Spanish versions. We will explain to you exactly what they are. You will hear from people within the community who have been in the community since day one and what this opportunity has meant to them. Now, if you jump on my lives, if you see any of my content, you know what it means to me. You know how it has changed my perception of earning income online. I told y'all in my live 2 days ago, I never, ever, ever thought I would be one to earn income online because what I saw when I got into watching that about 6 years ago, watching online content creators, I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe these people are so brave and so bold that they believe in themselves that much that they have left everything behind and this is what they're doing. I was so impressed. I was appreciative. And as crazy as it seems, I was proud of those people to know that they believed in their mission. They believed in their method. They believed in what they were doing so much that they left whatever they were previously doing behind and they committed to being content creators. I love that so much. And I told y'all I will never consider myself a content creator because they put serious work, serious research. They put themselves 100% into that craft. I don't have that discipline. I don't have that talent to be a content creator. That just takes a different kind of person cut from a different kind of cloth. But of course, I get my message out. I reach all of you through content that I create. To me, totally different. And my method of promoting what I do is digitally. That is why I'm a digital marketer. Everything that I sell, everything that I create, anything that I'm attached to, when I go online and I speak about it, I share that information with any of you. I am doing what is called digital marketing. I told you back in 2014 when I used to get information in my emails from sales places that I shopped. Whenever I would get an update about sales they were getting ready to have, that was digital marketing. So if y'all have been engaged in that type of activity, since 2010, since 2014, however long you've been getting updates and notifications from businesses, you were engaging in digital marketing. Like I said, I don't think it was tagged that back then, but that's exactly what that is. Your reach is so much more expanded because you're not relegated to your city, your state, or your country when you are promoting your business, your product, your good, your service. When you are promoting that online, that is a digital reach, which now means that your customer base is worldwide. You're not boxed in, so you're not even people within your state. Your reach is so much further from one end of the globe to the next. No traffic is held up as long as they have Wi-Fi and an internet connection on their phone. However they get online, that is, they are able to be reached by you because you are promoting your products, your goods, your services digitally. I told y'all 11 days after I launched my business, I made my investment back. 11 days after launching, I joined this business on a payment plan. So I had 4 payments due. Before my second payment was due, I was already in profit mode because I got my full refund back, or I got my full investment back. A customer in the Netherlands, something I said either through my content online or through a classified ad that I placed for free, I did not have to pay for. I reached someone in the Netherlands. Kelly in the Netherlands bought my $900 product 11 days after I launched. And all I was doing is this. So you've heard my story. If you've watched my content, if you've jumped on my lives, you have heard how I got into this business. You've heard why I got into this business. You heard that my entire perception, my entire vision changed in March of 2025 when I saw how many people went to work one day and found out they no longer had the jobs they had been committed to for years, jobs that they had given their blood, sweat, and tears to. They were no longer employed in that capacity. They lost their jobs through no fault of their own. They did absolutely nothing wrong, but they happened to be government workers. And someone decided, one person decided that they were dealing in fraud and abuse, or the position they had, or the department they worked for, or the organization they worked for, that was no longer a viable or valid or necessary organization. So they were done, could not plead their case, could not ask, well, can I at least get severance? No, they walked in and then they walked out. Some of them were escorted out. Some of them never were allowed to go into their offices. They were met at the door and were told, it's been real, but you got to go. So, knowing that, I initially joined this business so that I could prepare for my retirement in 2028. I knew that I was going to have something to supplement my income. So, my whole purpose for joining this business was to make sure in 2028 I could still live my life and be as comfortable as I am now. I wanted to be that comfortable then. I decided I was going to have to go back to college to get my master's degree so that I can be in business for myself as a licensed clinical social worker. That was my purpose. Now, that program was going to take 18 months. I was to begin it in January of 2025. I would finish it in August of, no, I can't remember when I was supposed to finish, but finishing that program, I would complete the 18 months of study, graduate, and then I had 3,000 hours of clinicals. So I'm retiring in June 2028. I would have completed all requirements to get my certification, to get my license in August of 2028. Then I was going to have to build my business. So that is exactly what my plan was, because I already knew I was going to have something to supplement my income. In September of 2024, my cousin shared a webinar. She shared a webinar with me less than 5 minutes into the very beginning. I literally pressed play, Less than 5 minutes, I knew I could feel, first of all, the energy from the presenter, the energy from the facilitator, telling me her story, why she joined this business in September of 2022, how she was wanting to stop having to take a calculator to the grocery store again, how her business, she's been a network marketer forever, and how she was making $7,000 a month. Her leaders called the whole team together, and her $7,000 a month consistently dropped to $3,000 a month. She had a whole team working with her. So everybody was in panic mode. She said at that time, at that moment, she realized she wasn't in business for herself because she was under the hold, under the strain of somebody else, literally because someone else controlled her financial stability. Now, yes, she was building her team, she was making her money. But bottom line is, when someone else can make a decision to totally shake up your financial stability or your financial future, you're not in business for yourself. You don't have control over your income. So, my purpose, listening to Michelle's story, I just knew when she told me how well she had done and what a difference this business made in her life. I'm like, yeah, I'm in. I'm in. So that very night, I paid my $900. I got into this program. For the next couple of weeks, I studied, I studied, I studied, I studied, I studied. I tried my best to absorb in our modules. That's what you do. That's how you learn this program. You go at your own pace. I learned as much as I could. I watched videos, I went through the modules myself. In addition, I went to the trainings that are available in our community. At that time, it was every Thursday. We had Legacy Builders training. The program that I purchased was the $900 program. So, depending on the level where you come in, you get a little more access to more trainings, to more opportunities based upon where you decided to jump in. Well, I came in top tier. I wanted to be able to participate in everything that was available to me, which is why I made the decision to purchase the $900 program. And again, I purchased it 4 payment plans before my second payment was due. I was already in profit mode. Now, did I go ahead and pay off my debt? No, I sure did not. I set up my payment plan, so I paid it as I had set up. But nevertheless, had I chosen to go ahead and pay it off, I could have. And that would have been paying it off with money that didn't come out of my bank account, money that I did not have allocated to something else, because that is money that I made in this business. So the first thing that taught me was, okay, this is real. This is the real deal. In addition, it taught me I can do this. I knew nothing about digital marketing. What I thought digital marketing was the digital billboards we see up and down the highways, up and down the streets in our cities and our towns. I'm thinking that's digital marketing. And I had completed digital campaigns for customers before, because in 2018, I created an LLC, and that is what I used to do, help people build small businesses. I was a paralegal for, I can't remember, 7 years, 9 years, however long I was. And the skills that I learned in that business, I parlayed those into yet another side hustle when I was no longer in that business. So I would help people open their small businesses. I would help them form their LLCs or incorporate their businesses, all of that, come up with their marketing campaigns. And I started doing digital marketing campaigns for customers. So I'm thinking that's what, not digital billboards, excuse me. I started doing the digital billboards for customers. Again, thinking digital has to be digital. That has to be what this is. That is so not that. This is so not that. This is, you're not paying for that. I paid for my program. Everything else I use is 100% free. Because I wanted to invest more into my business, I did start, excuse me, paying more. I needed some tax write offs. Like I said, I have an LLC. So I need some exemptions in order to go to a lower tax bracket. I can contribute to my business. That is what I'm doing. I would rather invest in myself as opposed to pay Uncle Sam. They already take out taxes. I don't want to write another check April 15th to pay them more because they did not take out enough. So I invest in myself. I build my business. So the things that I have paid for, I chose to purchase. I did not have to. I did not have to purchase a Mac. I did not have to purchase business cards. I did not have to purchase additional equipment. I did not have to do anything. Once you initially invest, you invest in whatever program you choose to, whatever program fits you best. And that's based upon your goals and your objectives. I can't tell you where you should fit. That's not my pocket I'm bringing the money out of. So you determine, what are my goals? What's my objectives? Where do I want to go? How do I want this particular business to serve me? Y'all, I'm sorry. I need to put my phone on do not disturb. I'm sorry because I'm just getting dings and dings all over the place. Anyway, so you determine what's best for you. Again, nobody makes that decision but you. The only thing you need to 100% be sold on is that you're going to be committed. You are going to show up, because if you don't, you're doing yourself a disservice. Y'all, we learn how to navigate this business step by step. We have a step by step blueprint that is actually great for any kind of business. If you want to get into the digital marketing space, if you want to start promoting your business, if you're wanting to grow your business, regardless of what that business is, if you have a brick and mortar business and you just want to get the word out, if you want to explore digital marketing to reach a different type of audience, if you want a wider reach, you can get my step by step blueprint. That is a free resource. You have no obligation to me. I gift that to you. You can get that free resources and see how that fits in your current business. Like I said, if you have a brick and mortar business, if you're into network marketing and you want to expand your business, if you want to expand your reach, follow that step by step blueprint. It will instruct you on how to I'm sorry, y'all. Somebody's trying to be my co-host. Anyway, I'm sorry. Forgive me for that intrusion. I've never had that before. Anyway, that step-by-step blueprint tells you exactly what to do, how to do it, and when to do it on a daily basis. You learn how to construct and again navigate those spaces so your reach can be greater, your customer base will increase. If you have a product, a good, or a service, particularly a digital product where you don't have inventory, where there is no shipping, if you have created digital products, and I've been telling y'all, I'll walk with you step by step on creating digital products since October 28th. So if you are interested in creating digital products, join my free community. We can get together on a live and walk step by step, just chop up some ideas, whatever you're interested in doing, so you're able to start generating income you control. It can be teeny tiny, a little old small thing, but now you need to do the research to make sure that you're creating a viable product. You don't want to waste your time. So you want to make sure that product is something that people need. What if it's something that's necessary for the moment? If you know that now something that I created and I didn't have to do any research because I know at some point in time, unfortunately, at some point in time, all of us on the face of this earth will go this way. We will get in a space of having to take care of our parents, our grandparents, could be our siblings. We will face an opportunity of being a caregiver, whether it's a minimum opportunity or a maximum opportunity. Every person on the face of this earth will at some point in time be a caregiver. And again, I don't care if it's something that you're doing once a month. That's still a skill that we all need to develop, because I'm telling y'all, I never thought I would be in that space, but I'm one. I don't want my loved ones to be in a convalescent home. I don't. If they need to be in a facility that is great for them, okay, I have no problem with that, because if they have needs that I can't fulfill, then I most certainly. But when I have loved ones saying to me, saying to my siblings, saying to my aunt and my mom, if you put me in a nursing home, it is going to kill me. So you best believe the last thing we're going to do. Those were the words from my grandfather. He did not. Now, daddy did not want to be a burden to us at all. And I will tell y'all, the time I spent with him, I would not trade for the world. The time I spent with him, now I have to have a sleep aid to go to sleep, because daddy wanted to sit up at night and talk, and I dozed off. And he said, well, damn, I guess I'm talking to myself. From that moment on, I said, I'll never go to sleep again while I'm here tending to my grandfather. And you best believe I didn't. I would take no dose or whatever I had to ingest in my body to make sure I did not have daddy wake up wanting to talk about something and I was not there to talk to him. So at this point in time, I did that for 2 years. So now I have to have a sleep aid. But the things that I put in my caregiver's package, I put that together because, like I said, I know people will at some point in time in their lives, whether it's that you do it once a month, or whether or not you're doing it every weekend, or whether or not you're doing it however many, 30 to 31 days a week, and just breaking up those hours. Because if our loved one tells us they don't want to be anywhere else but home, and we're able to do it, I know my family. That's what we're going to do. And that's what we did. So I created that resource for people who will face what we had to face. But because of our experience, had we had those resources back then, we could have served daddy better. We could have served my grandmother better. We could have served our mom better. And from what we've learned, and each time, each step got a little bit better because we learned from the previous. But something like that, I know that's needed. Whatever resource you have. Now, yeah, there are a whole lot of people talking about budgeting. There are a whole lot of people having problems with just maintaining. So if you are a great money manager, that's a resource you can create, but you need to know how you're going to promote it, where you're going to promote it, and the steps to promote it so you can get the word out. That's what we learn within the digital growth community. Those are things you learn with my free resource. So again, if you want my resource, and y'all, I went back and looked at my board, stuff was all backwards. So until I learn what I'm doing, I'm not putting that back up. So I hope y'all can see this. That looks backwards as well. But y'all, that's my website. You can also find my website in my profile. Hit either one of those websites. You will receive, well, now if you cannot speak Spanish, don't go to the Spanish website. Don't do that. Don't do that. Go to the website that accommodates you. It is in my profile. Drop your email address. You will then receive immediately, you'll receive that step-by-step blueprint. It may go in your spam or your trash. I don't know. There are 3 email providers that sometimes they will send them to spam. So leave your email. You will get an immediate email from me. You will, of course, since you get the email from me, you're going to have my email address. So if there's something that you're interested in, if you want to talk to me about something else relative to this digital marketing space, we can do it. Creating digital products. I will give you the link to my free community. I initially said I would get on Zoom, and for everybody who wanted to Zoom so we could walk through creating a digital product, I would do that. That's going to be too, it's going to wear me too thin. So you get in my free community. In my free community, we also have resources to help you financially, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. I've got modules that help you recognize the strength within you. If you've ever struggled with forgiveness, if you've ever struggled with doubting in yourself, I have modules that literally take you through exercises. In addition to the people within the community, I shut it down for months because I could not pour into the people in the community. I had to get out of my head that I need to every comment that's on there that I need to respond, that I need to say something to everybody every day. No, we're building each other up. I'm not the one to build everybody up. We're building each other up. That is what community is for. It doesn't fall on one person. So it is free to everyone to join, but you can get nourishment in that community. I could not link it in my bio, but if you send me an email, I will share the link to my free community. If you this is YouTube over here, this is TikTok right here. If you go to my YouTube channel, you will see the full description of everywhere you can find me, and the link for my community is there. It again, if you're interested in our free webinar, that is what we're supposed to be talking about. And y'all, I'm telling you, that webinar, and I finally went back after I purchased. I'm like, Lord, what did I just do? I don't even know what I'm doing. But after I purchased, that is when I finished watching the webinar. And I was even more excited after I watched the webinar, because then I had a little more knowledge about what I had just jumped into, what I had just enthusiastically jumped into. Again, I've said before, when I saw just though less than 5 minutes, that there was it was ignited within me, the passion, the vision. I'm like, I see myself there. I know I can do this. I have no doubt. Regardless, and at that point, I had not heard from the community members expressing their success. I had heard not from one person other than Michelle talking about where she was and where she is right now, or where she was last September, September 2024. No, September before last. Wow. Who we are in a new year. Thank you, Lord. Hearing where she came from, and just the knowledge of knowing how defeated she was when she got in this community, because your salary, your monthly salary dropping from 7,000 to 3,000. And I can't imagine those under her, because she was in network marketing. So that was MLM. She built her team. So if she was making 7,000 a month, I have no idea what those under her were making, but I assure you it was not 7,000. So if hers dropped 4,000 in just one meeting, she said they called everybody together and they're thinking they're going to another tier. So they're getting ready to make more. What she said they were told in that meeting was, we overestimated what we'd be able to do. So it's being cut. The tiers are being cut. And you can't say, I've brought you in so much money, surely you're not going to cut mine. No, they cut straight across the board. She had no say in what was happening. Those federal workers back in March of 2025 had no say in what was happening with them. When my hours were cut on a Monday morning from 40 hours a week to 20 hours a week, I was now working 8 to 12 instead of 8 to 5. I was told at 10 o'clock that morning that I was clocking out at 12 o'clock. I've said before, it was not a dialogue in that meeting. It was a monologue, because only one person was speaking. I was sitting there absorbing what I was being told in total and complete disbelief. This is the same job where I got a $17,000 raise in 1 year and was promoted to a new position. Leadership changed. Leadership changed. Now, we couldn't control and make the three who were there when I was there stay. They were ready to retire. Leadership came in. Leadership came in with a new vision, with a new decision. So immediately, the day they came in, they shut down two departments within our organization. No explanation other than we don't need you here. You're talking about women who had given what, 20 plus years? Some real, two of them very close to retirement. I think they allowed them to retire. I don't know. But I do know they were well past 60. I'll be 60 this year in just a few months. So you think about it, I can't even, oh my God, to think I would have to just go and start over because somebody made the decision that I was no longer valuable, that I could not even plead my case. That's pretty much what Dexter did to me that day. Although I could still stay, my salary was cut in half. And I said, I didn't call my family first. The first people I called was the Department of Family and Children's Services because I was going to need to get my children on government assistance. I already knew that. If your salary is cut in half and you've not prepared at all for that hit, that's what it looks like when someone else solely controls the income in your household. Not only did that affect me, that affected my children. And it also affected my entire family because they didn't let us get in lack. So they had to pay my rent. I paid my car note and my insurance and got groceries. My family paid our rent, all of our utilities, and anything else I had aside from my car payment, my insurance payment, and groceries. And you're looking at a woman who was maintaining and managing with extra an entire household. But because one man made one decision with his little round self and decided I no longer needed to keep a full-time job, that my one position was now going to be split between two people. He had the power to make that decision. He had the authority to make that decision. So he made it. And all I could do was accept it. And I did. For however more many months, I can't remember, until it got to the point that I wanted to go in there and just punch him in his throat. Every time I saw that man, I swear I did not appreciate what he did. I did not appreciate the cold and callousness with which he did it. Not once did he say, I'm so sorry. Who is this laughing? With He did not ask me if my children would be fine. He did not ask me, is there anything, maybe we can let you do this and you can prepare to lose your salary. There was none of that. There was, come in here at 10 o'clock. Okay, this is what I'm telling you. Clock out at 12 o'clock. That's what it feels like. Y'all don't get in that position. Don't ever, do not ever, ever, ever get in the position where you are at the mercy of someone else. Now, is he a good dude? I don't know. I've never thought so. But I know the way he approached me in that situation, there was no good in that joker, not a piece of good in him. But again, he had that authority. He basically had the right. He was the director, so he could make that decision. Do not get caught up, just like those government workers in March of last year. Nobody saw that coming. No, I guarantee you, nobody saw the chaos, the calamity, the destruction, and the confusion. I guarantee you, nobody saw that coming. People expected change, but nobody saw a complete shakeup and devastation for so many people who did nothing wrong but give their blood, sweat, and tears and years of their life, missed family moments because they were so dedicated to their places of employment. But yeah, when someone else has the power and the authority to make a decision that can completely affect you, all you can do is absorb it when the hit comes. But let's not just stand there and wait for the hit to come. In the meantime, in between time, like right now, you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. None of us know what tomorrow's going to bring. But what we do know is when we have an opportunity to make a decision, to be prepared. I said 2 days ago, We're not going to be panicked. We're going to be purposeful and we're going to be prepared. In that sense, y'all get into a space of generating income you control. I don't care what it looks like. Just getting to the space of generating income you control. There is no time like the present, which is again why I'm extending the invitation for you to join us tomorrow at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So, tomorrow, January 5th at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have our first webinar of 2026. In this webinar, you will find out all about this community, these digital learning products, how people got here, where they are now, what is meant to them, and how they've been able to navigate this space. We also get little nuggets. I found out 2 weeks ago in one of the webinars, Daryl, one of our six-figure earners, soon to be a seven-figure earner. I talked about him last week. Said he was the one who had been a welder for 14 years. He went to work one day. He's thinking he had given so much to this company that they're getting ready to make him the next supervisor. His trajectory was all the way uphill. He gets called in one day. His supervisor tells him the company is going in another direction and we're going without you. So, bruh, man, you no longer have a job. For the next 3 weeks, Daryl slept in his car in the woods. For the next 11 months after those 3 weeks, he moved into a homeless shelter with 16 other men. Then he found this opportunity. Within 2 years, this month, January, will be 2 years for him. So in less than 2 years, he had already made 800,000 and some change. $800,000 in 2 years' time after sleeping in the woods in your car for 3 weeks, then sleeping in a homeless shelter for 11 months with 16 other guys. When he found this opportunity, his wife's car was 5 months behind. They just knew it was getting ready to be repoed. He found this opportunity. He invested in this opportunity. He also invested using the payment plan. Also invested using the payment plan, was paying $75 per month. And in less than 2 years, he hit 800,000 plus. That is where he is. This business is transformative. We have the tools. The issue is not whether or not it works. The issue is whether or not you'll work it. If you're interested in literally building income you control, if you are interested in this time next year, having the possibility of your life looking completely different financially, if you're interested in making that change, if you're interested in having income not tied to a boss who could lose his mind and let you go, or a job that can fail you, things in the economy change. Leadership changes at your job. Decisions are made in rooms that you've never been invited into. But again, you're the one who gets the hit. And it may not be personal. It can literally be business. But bottom line is, when someone else controls your entire financial stability, you're in jeopardy. I used to believe in financial security. I still believe in financial security. I misspoke. I used to believe in job security. I used to believe if you were loyal, you were committed, you were skilled, you showed up come hell or high water. You made a difference because you wanted to. Your place of employment meant something to you. You were going to show up and be the best you could be and contribute so that the company could benefit. I used to believe in job security until I didn't. I stopped believing in job security when I remembered from seeing those people in March of 2025. It took me back to these 6 occasions where I thought job stability was this way, but I found out it was actually this way because I did not control that job. I had no control whatsoever. The only thing I controlled was the way I showed up, and I showed up well. Yes, I did. I'm tooting my horn because I know what I bring to the table. I know what I give to the job because I'm intentional. Any job I work for, it is intentional. I'm not going to come in there just to collect a paycheck. I put my heart, my mind, my soul, every bit of myself into that position. First of all, I'm appreciative. And I want to show whomever I'm working for how appreciative I am. Nothing is minimal to me. Not when I work for you. I'm showing up for you. I'm representing you and I'm representing that organization. That's just my mindset. That is a James Rogers deposit. I got that from my granddaddy. So, no, I don't shortchange anybody I work for. But at the very same time, those I work for could shortchange me because they have the power and authority to do so. And again, it may not be personal, like for real, for real. It may not be personal at all. It could be 100% business. But sadly, that 100% business could put you in a position that is hard to bounce back from, if ever bouncing back from. Had it not been for my family, I literally have no idea where my children and myself would have been when my hours were cut in half with no warning. No warning, no preparation. That's what I'm trying to do tonight. Preparation, just to get you prepared. Nobody ever knows what's coming. We cannot predict what anything is going to look like in our lives. I can't even predict when I get ready to go to bed tonight that it's not going to take me 3, 4, 5 hours to go to sleep. I can't predict that, which good. But we can control what we can control. And every single day, every hour of no, every minute of every hour of every single day, what we can control are the decisions we make. So tonight, make a decision that you want to join me tomorrow night at our webinar, in our webinar. Yes, in our webinar, where you will get a thorough breakdown of this program, exactly what it is. You will hear from those who have been in it since day one, how they got to where they are, how they've been able to create their own digital products, how they've been able to create their courses, how they have been able to start building additional income, literally multiple streams of income, how they're now into affiliate marketing, how they get paid 6 figures just because their name is attached to something, how they have companies reaching out to them to promote their products, and that's bringing in 6 figures. That's something they literally did not have to touch. This business, we are selling 4 e-learning programs that we did not have to create. Do y'all realize how expansive the e-learning industry is? I got my degree through an online program at Georgia Southern. I only stepped foot on that campus a few times. Everything else, all of my cohorts, it was straight up online. I busted my butt in that program. I learned exactly what I needed to learn in that program, but I did it online. E-learning is not going anywhere. I think when we hit 2020, the avenue of e-learning exploded. E-learning is going to surpass $1 billion business and be $1 trillion business. I think they were saying by 2030. Why would you not get on the ground level of something that is expanding? If we can get our hands into something that is expanding and only looking to grow even more over the next 4 years, why not get into it now? Why not get prepared to get your piece of this pie? I'm not trying to sell you again on where you need to jump in. That is solely up to you. You know what your wallet looks like. I don't. You know what your ideas are. I will tell you whatever product you purchase is the only product you can sell. And we have the 100, 300, 600, 900, and now the $1,400 program. The $1,400 program is the same program containing the 1, 3, 6, and $900 $900 programs, But because it's available in English and Spanish, you now have 10 income streams. You can sell all of those. So you can sell in English, the 1369 $1,400 program. And then in Spanish, the 1369 $1,400 program. So if you purchase our bundle pack, that is the Legacy Builders bundle pack for $1,400. And yes, there are payment plans available for that as well. There are payment plans available for all of our products. So you jump right on in and do exactly whatever it is you're interested in doing. And y'all, we are literally a global company. We have six-figure earners in Canada. We have self-made millionaires in South African Rand, I think 27 of them. So this is South Africa. If you look at our map, we are literally all over the globe. You will see our blue dot where we have a footprint and a presence on every single continent. I cannot wait. My first customer, I told y'all, was in the Netherlands. Everybody else has been in the USA. I cannot wait until I have customers from South Africa, until I have customers from Nigeria or Ghana or Tanzania. I cannot wait until I have customers from China, from Pakistan. I cannot wait until I have a global representation for my own business. Being a serious global ambassador. I want Australia. Sydney. I'm giving Sydney's. I want Sydney, Australia. I can't even think of. I want Hong Kong. I want I can't think, y'all. I can't think. But I want to be all over the globe. So I really want to start touching Canada because I cannot, one of these days, me and mine, we're moving to Canada. I've already said 2028, we can pack up and go. 2028, I would love to move to Canada. And do you know what? I won't miss a beat because I'm global. I'm global and I'm mobile. So wherever I land, my business keeps going. When some of our community members went on a cruise this past summer, they cruised and still made money. All they needed was Wi-Fi and their cell phone. Not one person had a computer. You don't need a computer. You can conduct this business. I downloaded, let me show y'all this today. I'm like, I really need to be mobile. So today, can y'all see that? Y'all probably can. But do y'all see that? Can y'all see? Oh, I can't. I don't think y'all can. Anyway, well, loud and open it up. That was Canva. I'm like, I'm getting my nails done and I created thumbnails. I'm like, I'm literally global. I don't have to be sitting at my desk. I don't have to get in any of these spaces. I can conduct business everywhere. Y'all know I record content in my car all the time. I told y'all in Kroger parking lot, sitting in the line at Chick-fil-A, sitting in the line or sitting in the parking lot when I get to work or when I leave work, in my driveway, at the park, I'm recording content everywhere. When something hits me, I need to say it. So I'm recording content anywhere. Y'all, we're not relegated to four walls. We can be anywhere. Wendy was in the woods camping, creating content. That was a little shoddy because she was losing reception. But I'm 5G, so I don't necessarily need. I have unlimited, whatever that is. So I can record anywhere. I don't need Wi-Fi. So I can conduct my business everywhere I am. That's yet another perk of this business. It is unlimited, literally unlimited in its reach. It is unlimited in where you can go. So if you're ready to get in the space of generating income you control, I told you I will walk with you step by step to create digital products. We can chop it up and decide, do you think this will fit? Do you think this is viable? We can do that. If you want to sell products that you didn't have to create, y'all, we get 100% profit. I told y'all this is not MLM. There's not an upline, nor is there a downline. So you don't have to build a team. This is your business. You are 100% in business for yourself. You're just not by yourself. You have a whole team willing to support you, ready to support you, eager to support you every single day. The training we get is unmatched. Every day of the week, Michelle creates additional nuggets for us. It's a video. It can be 5 minutes. I think the longest she's made was 8 minutes, but y'all, that's every day. She is pouring into us every single day. This is a woman who is a multimillionaire. She made her first six figures. She hit at least 100,000 in 6 months after joining this business. 17 months, she was a millionaire. She is on track. She's only been in September of this last year was 3 years. This year, she's going to her next level. She is our leader. She is the one who pours into us every single day. There's not a day that we wake up where we don't have education just right there waiting for us. And if you show up, if you pay attention, if you put yourself into this business, and y'all, all it takes is 2 hours a day, literally 2 hours a day. Excuse me, y'all. Hey, sis. Thank you for joining me. 2 hours a day. You can get all of your income earning activities done. Your income earning activities are what you do to build your business. So that's creating your content. That is responding to anyone who has DM'd you, if they've sent you an email, if they've made a comment on one of your posts. So that's creating content, responding to potential customers, doing classified ads, free classified ads. You just create an ad, just like you may see on Craigslist, promoting a product, wanting to sell something. Now, excuse me, my gosh, Craigslist is not free, but we teach you how the entire process from start to finish of creating free classified ads. So you don't pay a dime. I told y'all, if I didn't want to invest in my business, I did not have to. I chose to. But that $900, the $900 for my program, and at that time, the $29 for my website, that's all. Well, $900 for my program, $29 for my website. Then you purchase your domain. I got mine from GoDaddy. It was $36. The first year was a penny. The next 2 years is $18. So I paid $36. I did not purchase a professional email because the email I had from my LLC is the email I attached in my system, our host, where we have our website, where we have our email funnels, the way we communicate, where we have our landing page, how we communicate with interested parties. All of that is done on System.io. That is 100% free. So literally, those are the things, $929, $36, and that's it. So how much is that? Let's see. 900. I said 6, 9, 29, and 36. $965. $965 is what I invested immediately. And in 11 days, I made 900 of those dollars back. And I can't remember, the month was not out. I cannot remember when my next sale was. But y'all, literally all I was doing was creating content and doing my copy and paste ads. And I only did the ads for maybe 2 weeks. And I'm like, does this even work? But the webinar I attended a couple of weeks ago, I learned from Daryl that that's all he did. Literally, I think he said for 3 solid weeks, or maybe 2 solid weeks, he did not create any content. But in those 2 weeks from his free classified ads, he made $5,000. Not one piece of recording did he do. I don't even know if he had any social media accounts created because he didn't do any content. He literally did the copy and paste ads. So if you are an introvert and it's like, oh my Lord Jesus, I don't want to get on here. I don't want to be in front of the camera. We also teach you how to have a faceless brand. So if you're a little shy about being in front of the camera, you can still launch, grow, scale, and build your business totally incognito. Nobody ever has to see who you are. They never have to know who you are. They never have to hear your voice because we have software where we can change your voice. We learned all of that within the digital growth community. None of this stuff did I know anything about, not one. But I've learned so much about affiliate marketing, AI. I was terrified of AI. I'm like, that's the devil. But we learned how to use it, and I learned how beneficial it is. So when I need some assistance with some creative juices, I do. I check into my AI and I get that help that I need. If I'm stuck, AI can get me unstuck. So the tools that we use, and all that's free. So when I started, I created all of my thumbnails. I did all of that extra 100% free. All of my content was recorded with the phone I've already paid for. My social media accounts, they're free. I don't pay for anything when I want to promote my business. I use my content creation or my copy and paste free ads. And like I said, my thumbnail and anything else I needed to attach with my videos, I did that on Canva. That was free. I created my digital products on Canva for free. I listed my digital products on Gumroad for free. They take a percentage. I also have a print on demand store. I created all of those products on Canva for free. Everything. And then whatever I wanted to put my design on, t-shirts, socks, these things here, what you call these, mouse pads, uh phone covers, all of that, flags, mailboxes, all of that, I created those designs on Canva for free. So you can literally launch and grow your business. We also have a resource of 200 digital product ideas. So if you want to just jump into the digital growth community to see if this is a space for you, aren't you worth $100 investment to see if this is a fit for you? You can go and sell something that you're no longer using. One woman in our community did a dog walking service to earn her investment. One woman cleaned out, I don't know, a house, a garage, or whatever, and sold her stuff on, what is it, Facebook Marketplace? I think that's what it is. So that's how she earned her investment. She didn't have it. They were living, literally living paycheck to paycheck, and some not making paycheck to paycheck. Some working 18 hours, 9 hours on one job, leaving there, or 8 hours on one job, leaving that one, clocking out, going to the next job, but working 18 hours every single day. Her children, three daughters, the oldest daughter had to pretty much raise and tend to the other two because mama was busy working. Mama didn't have any help from daddy, and she was running that house. But what she had to do was get two jobs. And after being in this business for 9 weeks, she quit both jobs because in 9 weeks she had made, and I mean, she would record her content in her car on her way to one job. She would listen to trainings in her car when she went to lunch. In between jobs, she'd listen to more trainings. She'd show up for what she could show up for. If she couldn't show up for them in person live, she listened to the replay. But in 9 weeks, she was able to leave both of her jobs because she generated enough income to pay her bills and realized the potential of what she had in her hands. She knew it was going to make a difference. So that's what she did. She invested in herself. She believed in herself. She got away from somebody else controlling her income and controlling her financial well-being. Now, I told y'all I adore my job and the people I work with, but I know June 2028 is coming. And I know when I'm retired, I'm not going to have money coming in like I do right now. Oh, but come June 2028, I'm going to far exceed what I have coming in right now, because this is the place I'm going to do it. I have no doubt. I am firm in that stance. You didn't hear me quiver. You didn't hear my voice crack. I'm confident because I know what I have. I know the success I've already had. And I've been doing this wholeheartedly. I told y'all not until Christmas Day did I implement all 4 components of our 2-hour workday. I've halfway showed up and I still made almost $15,000 in 7 months. Halfway showing up, quitting for 5 months. That's what I have in my hands, and I pour myself into it. I literally pour myself into it, and every time I do, I feel better because I'm elevating. I'm also looking at retiring myself in 2028, but also our daughters, because they have business minds. They have dreams of being in business for themselves. And I'm giving them a year. I ain't footing every bill. Now I'll cover them. I will cover them for a full year because I can. I will cover them for a full year, but they better start generating their own income that they control. And now they ain't got no piece of business, interest at all being in this business, and that's fine. That is fine. They're 25 and 27. They see what they probably see how dedicated and committed I am, and they're like, I'm not built like that. I'm giving my time to my job, right? And that's okay because I'm not built like my grandmother. I couldn't have dealt in a million years with the things they dealt with. So it's okay. It's all right. But one day they'll realize what mama has in her hands, especially when they clock out for the last time. But again, I want to invite you all to join me as in our webinar that is scheduled for tomorrow, January 5th. Tomorrow, January 5th at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Drop webinar in my comments or go to my website. It is in my profile. Leave your email. And when you leave your email, you're going to get an email from me immediately. Like I said, it will be the Freedom Formula Blueprint, our free blueprint that is applicable in any business, in any industry. If you want to build a digital business, if you want to build a digital outreach, if you're interested in expanding your customer base in the digital space, that step-by-step blueprint will tell you exactly how to do it, regardless of what business you're in. Like I said, if you're in network marketing, get that blueprint. It's going to teach you how to have a greater reach. Implement those strategies, you will have a greater reach. A blueprint, step by step, follow it. Don't stray from any component. Don't be like I am. Don't be like me. And know what you have in your hands and decide, oh, does that really work? I ain't gonna do it. That's what I did. Don't be like me. Be better. But yes, tomorrow, 4 hour step-by-step blueprint. No, that's so wrong, y'all. For I was reading what somebody said. They totally got me. Whew, I can't concentrate. But anyway, 4 hour free webinar. Join me tomorrow. Join our community. We have fun. We cut up. Join the community. If you need encouragement, if you need guidance and direction, and to know that there's a better way for as little as $100, grab it however you need to grab it, as long as it's legal. Grab it, get $100 in your hand, invest in yourself. If you need the Spanish version, you can purchase the Spanish version. You just have to go to my Spanish website. That's also in my profile. But if you are ready to make a difference in your life, $100 investment to see if this is something you can do. And if it's not, no harm, no foul. but you have to show up. You have to get yourself out there. If you don't want to be visible, if you don't want to show up as yourself, we will teach you step by step how to have an invisible empire, how to build your digital brand. But for that $100 investment, you will have an opportunity to partake in live interactive training. In those trainings, we stay on until the last hand is lowered. Whatever question you have, you can ask it in those trainings. You can also ask it within the community, and you will see a deluge of people just eager to answer whatever your concerns are. If you're new to it and you have the question, and you've got a potential customer and they're asking you something you don't know, ask that, post that in the question. You will be amazed at how many people come to your rescue and they want to help. We love building each other up. That's what we do. That is who we are. But for as little as $100, a $100 investment, $100 for your program, $39 for your free website. Well, not your free website. It can't be free if it's $39. $100 for your program, $39 for your website is pre-built. So all you have to do is go in there and personalize it. You're going to put your bio in there. Oh, Lord, here's this thing that I've got to do again. Oh, hold on, TikTok. I gotta hold on. Yay! I'm getting better at it, y'all. I'm getting better. $100 investment, $100 for your program, $39 for your website. A completely designed website. All you have to do, you can go in and personalize it. You can change the colors. You can spruce it up, whatever it is you want it to look like. Personalize it, make it you. But do not change the components of our website that details the program, because you're going to plug in your sales funnel. Um, Not your sales funnel. You're going to plug, well, I need to stop reading these. You're going to plug in your payment gateway. So however you choose to get paid, whatever account you want that to go into, you're going to plug in our payment plans. So you will personalize it that way. But we also have Tech Tuesdays. So if you run into any issues while you're trying to personalize your website, get on a call for Tech Tuesdays, and they too will stay on there for as long as you need them to. They're going, now they have to take a break, but they will try to get to as many people as possible in the live training. But you can also send tech support questions, and they will respond and walk you through setting up your website. They also have a service to set it up for you that is not free. But if you need someone to set up your website for you, that is also provided. But for the $100 investment, live interactive training, a resource of 200 digital product ideas. So I love going back to the photographer. If you are a photographer, in this resource, it gives you ideas of how you can become a photographer and turn that into a digital resource, even if it's training, even if it is taking your pictures and putting them on so everybody can partake of them. I can't even remember what that's called. But anyway, you get your step-by-step blueprint to follow, trainings for your faceless brand, a Canva crash course, the step-by-step resource of how Michelle made $1 million in 17 months. She completely shares exactly what she did. She leaves no stone unturned. So if you're interested in how she got to 17 months, got to $1 million, she has shared that step by step. I think that, oh, and she also did a 6 figures in 6 month blueprint resource. So you've got the 6 figures in 6 months, exactly how she did it. You have your 1 million in 7 months, exactly how she did it. So if you do not find success, there is no excuse. You have the resources available to you. You have to show up. You have to be committed. You have to engage. You have to follow our blueprints. You have to follow our 2 hour income earning activities. You have to be committed. Everything is laid out for you. Does it guarantee you'll find success? There are no guarantees, but you have the resources to achieve success. Plus, you have a ton of people, 126 six-figure earners within our community. You have their testimony. You have exactly the words from them of where they were to where they are. You've got witnesses telling you, do this. This is how you do this. No, don't waste your time on that. You've got access to exactly how it's been done. That shows it can be done. The mold was not broken when they achieved. We all have the opportunity to achieve. You just have to do it. But we provide the resources for you to do it. Again, $100 investment. You can make a move that is apt to change your life. Y'all, I have no regret. No, I have no regrets. I don't even have regrets of quitting for 5 months because I learned what not to do again. I choose everything. I'm not looking at it as a failure. I'm looking at it as a learning opportunity. Did I miss something in those 5 months? No, because my body needed what I gave my body in those 5 months for being away, because I did something that burnt me out, something that we're not taught within this community. But I decided to use my brilliance and do something that I was not taught. And I won't do it again. But anyway, invitation to our free webinar for tomorrow, January 5th at 7 o'clock p.m. If you're interested in attending the webinar, drop webinar in my comments or go to my website that is found in my profile. Drop your email. You'll get an email from me. Then send an email response to the one you get from me and drop webinar, and I will send you the registration link. I want y'all to be in there. You've heard from me. I'm sure you've seen content from other people, but there is nothing like being able to sit for an hour and listen. And you don't have to stay for the whole hour. You come in and leave whenever you choose to. But to get a better idea of what this is and how people have been able to elevate in this community, what the community has meant to them, what these programs have meant to them, to hear what this opportunity has done. It is eye-opening. It really is. And even though I've been in this business for over a year, I still get so much more. And I'll forever get encouragement from being in the webinars because I love hearing the success stories. I love hearing how people got out of critical situations and how they're now elevated to where they are, and just thrilled with life, with the changes they've been able to make in their families, the foundation they've been able to put their families on, and the fact that they're no longer living under the struggle and the power of someone else having sole control of their income, sole control of their earnings. If somebody makes a decision and they make that decision without you, they can jack up your entire financial future. So again, let's start generating income we control by any means necessary, as long as it's legal. I keep having to put that in there. Generate income you control. Get out from under the pressure and the burden of being not being solid and firm every day, knowing that you're going to be good regardless of what happens in the economy, regardless of what happens worldwide, regardless of what happens in the stock market. You're going to be good because you have a safety net. You have a nest egg that you have built. You're now living off of what you're able to earn yourself. Let's get into the space of generating income we control so that we take our power back and we make the decisions of how much we're going to elevate financially on a daily basis. That's it. That's all, y'all. I have enjoyed y'all so very much. Thank you, my sweet sugar, for joining me on YouTube. No, yeah, YouTube. Thank you, baby. I appreciate y'all. Drop again webinar in these comments. If you're interested in attending tomorrow's webinar, I'll send you the registration link. You must register to attend. Drop interested in my comments. I would love to send you the link And I'm hoping to see y'all tomorrow. If y'all want to create those digital products, go over to my YouTube page so you can find the link in my community or visit my website. You'll get it there. But y'all, let's get in the space of generating income we control. That's very, very, very important. It's imperative. Thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate everybody who jumped on. Y'all are the best, the absolute best. Thank y'all. Everybody have a wonderful night. Take good care of yourselves. Go God. Let him lead, teach, and guide and keep you all. Y'all have a blessed evening. Rest well. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye. Bye, Scruff.